The December Android 12 update also includes the last Pixel feature drop of 2021, but that's actually not all. It even includes over 100 fixes, tweaks, and some tuning for Android 12 for all Pixel phones that are eligible for the update. It's a big OTA, and we didn't want to gloss over it because there are tons of things that are said to be sorted with this OTA file itself. Just what's fixed? Well, let's find out together. Thanks for watching 9 to 5 Google here on YouTube. Remember to thumbs up, hit subscribe, and then tap the bell icon to be notified about all our future uploads. Just a reminder though, the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro update as of this video going live isn't available and is set to be coming early next week. We're guessing there is a reason for this, but Google hasn't shared that with us, so just hold on a few more days and you too will get the update soon on your devices. For everyone with the Pixel 3a and above, your update should already be heading out, and there's a link down in the description below if you want to sideload the OTA if you're especially impatient. Those with the Pixel 3, all of the fixes will come in the final OTA update for those devices, the 3 and 3 XL, in the early portion of 2022, so you'll have to wait a little bit longer. Anyone with the Pixel 6 or 6 Pro though, there is a laundry list of fixes coming soon that we'll put to the test when the OTA actually arrives and is available, but we'll just list off a few things here, and hopefully this will give you some sort of peace of mind for this update coming and resolving a lot of problems that some people have faced with their brand new smartphone. So to start off in apps, there is, in this OTA anyway, there is a fix for an issue that's causing the assistant to unintentionally start a phone call in certain conditions. In audio, we're also seeing some tweaks and improvements for audio playback issues in certain apps, though Google hasn't directly specified which apps. Resolutions for issues causing audio noise in videos captured while using certain phone cases is also again, but there's no mention of which cases specifically. There's a fix for issues that cause the on-device microphone to cut out during calls in certain conditions here too, along with a resolution for issues that sometimes cause occasional audio glitches when adjusting your on-device volume level, and when audio playback from speakers just appears to currently fail. Finally, on Pixel 6 audio tweaks, there is a fix for an issue that prevents Now Playing searching for unrecognized music using that new feature that was added, or at least was rolling out prior to this Pixel feature drop arriving. Battery and power has also had some attention, with additional improvements for battery charging information that's shown within the notification shade of the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro, plus there's general improvements for things such as wireless charging in certain use cases. This also includes better alignment detection for when placing your phone on a Pixel stand, although of course the Pixel Stand 2 is not yet available. Hopefully it'll be resolved before it's even arrived. Biometrics, they have been a somewhat bone of contention and kind of an ostracized area of the Pixel 6 series, and this update brings yet more improvements for your fingerprint sensor stability and the performance and unlock speeds of those, especially for those with us outside of the US and Japan that have seen the improved reader speeds roll out with a mid-November update. On top of that, Google has addressed the issues that prevented enrollment of new fingerprints that some owners have seen since launch, so hopefully you will be able to enroll more fingerprints much more easily on your Pixel 6 or 6 Pro using that in-display scanner. Bluetooth has received some attention as well, because this is yet another area of contention. There are lots in Android 12, with a fix for distorted audio that some people have complained and experienced when connected to headphones and speakers directly using the wireless connection method. The excellent camera setup on the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro also has some attention, with just some general image and quality improvements. And when in the camera preview or the capture view, there's stability and performance boosts here too, such as to the autofocus, the color consistency, and there's also a fix that I myself have seen where you just randomly get a blank or black viewfinder for just no discernible reason. That has apparently been resolved with this update, which of course is coming soon. A major bone of contention for some people out there was display flicker issues and random display refresh rate changes. They've received attention with this update, while there's now even angle graphics support for apps and games, so that should mean better performance in a lot of applications out there that weren't properly or at least officially supported prior to this. On top of that, network and telephony connections that saw, or at least frustratingly saw, some call features disabled when connected to specific or certain networks have also said to be affected and fixed here too. The Pixel 6 and 6 Pro are phones after all, so it's an important resolution to be able to use it as a traditional smartphone or a normal phone as well. Adding to that, Random Wi-Fi disconnections are also said to be fixed here, which is another frustrating issue that I myself have experienced a few times already on my Pixel 6 Pro. On top of that, if you've had issues with the quick tap feature, which sees you tap the rear of your phone, this update is also supposed to improve the accuracy and performance of that specific tapping gesture. There's also better auto-rotate detection accuracy when quickly switching device between orientations. Lift to wake and double tap are also said to be completely fixed, especially as this is a gesture which many people will access on a day-to-day basis. And on top of that, there's also some extra tuning for the always-on display feature, and then of course, rounding out the gestures, haptics and device vibrations are also getting a little extra attention with this OTA update. So that's the Pixel 6 series specific tweaks out of the way, and if you ask us, that's one hell of a lot of fixes that, well, we wouldn't have expected ahead of launch. You'd almost think that we were beta testing the devices for Google. At least though, things are being addressed fairly quickly, as the phones have only been around about a month and a half at this point, so hopefully this does help improve your daily experience with your brand new phone. However, it's not all about the new hardware, as there are other Pixels with problems in Android 12, and everything from the Pixel 3a onwards is getting updated here too, and this includes the Pixel 6 series for anyone wondering. If you have the Pixel 3 series, as we mentioned, the patches are going to arrive as a cumulative OTA in the first quarter of 2022. Factory or OTA images for the Pixel 3a through to the Pixel 5a are now available right now, but what is fixed? Well, here's everything resolved for all Pixel owners. So first up, we're getting fixes for stuck or frozen app UIs, just general improvements for battery and thermal performance, and a resolution for a problem that causes incorrect battery usage or usage levels accounted to the display itself in the settings menu. There's also resolutions for random Bluetooth reactivation when you've deactivated it, because sometimes you turn it on and it would turn itself back on even after you've fully disabled it. And there's also volume adjustment tuning for headphones and other connected devices via Bluetooth connections here too. If you care about your display tuning, there are also now additional example images for display color options within the settings menu to help you better tune your display to how you see fit. The display in your Pixel should also stay active for longer and more consistently as well when manually awakening your display with improved adaptive display brightness responses, which should mean it won't just randomly go dim or randomly get really bright for no reason. There's also a fix for that annoying white display flash when your Pixel does go to sleep. This has been solved with this OTA update too, and this was something I experienced, and it seems to be just completely gone here on my Pixel 5 and Pixel 4a 5G. Google has also addressed issues whereby apps on your home screen would just display as pending, even though the download itself from the Play Store has completed, and that extends to Play Store pausing app installations almost indefinitely that would require you to restart your device and then cancel the installation to fix it previously. You should also have a much easier time enabling and disabling work profiles if you do want to have a work profile on your device. And if you had any problems when restoring your phone from a backup or setting up from backup with regard to apps or individual app settings, while you've probably already moved on and probably set up your phone already and fixed those manually yourself, that is said to be resolved here too, which might be useful if you do need to restore again in future, or if you're going to go and run some beta software and then come back to this stable Android 12 release. Media playback, that now shouldn't crash your system, which was a weird bug that some Pixel owners were kind of seeing. I hadn't seen this myself. This also extends to the airplane mode. Toggling this feature shouldn't crash your system settings once you have this December update installed on your Pixel 3a or newer. Now let's talk the Android 12 UI fixes, as this is kind of the last big portion, and there have been a ton of little issues and niggles and problems that have really left this upgrade feeling kind of unfinished, like many of you out there have told us. Google has placed a ton of attention here, obviously it's needed, which is likely why it's such a big, notable and sizable upgrade for what is a monthly patch. So to start, there is now support for dynamic color boot animations, which came with that Pixel feature drop. There's an improved internet tile in the quick settings, which now has a slightly different layout and can be used on a lock screen as well. You're now also able to see which network you're connected to highlighted, and the Wi-Fi toggle itself, which you can just activate and deactivate, is much more prominent, which does make it a bit better, although it's not quite as good as a dedicated Wi-Fi toggle, we must admit. Quick settings itself, that should work better in various device orientations with better identification of which way up your phone actually is. And the tiles in quick settings should now also theme correctly to your wallpaper and dynamic color material you're theming presets. And that extends to the way that there's a weird transparent bug that some people spotted on their devices. That should now be gone and it should be a completely opaque notification shade that was there previously on the beta phases. Expanding that notification shade fully right after a restart, that shouldn't crash your phone either too, and that's something I experienced a few times myself. Doesn't seem to be the case. Right away you can just expand that and it shouldn't crash your phone. The entire notification shade has received some fixes and tweaks, with things such as the lock screen icon artifacting that would just suddenly randomly appear. That's resolved now, plus the history and clear buttons shouldn't randomly disappear either now, with persistent media controls not being quite as aggressively persistent as it was in that notification shade if you activate them. If you do use the game dashboard feature, which was added here in Android 12, the floating icon when you're in a game should be fully dismissible and not get stuck, as it sometimes does in some games, something that was annoying a little while after Android 12 was arriving on devices. There are lots of extra little tweaks to the UI and associated sections of Android 12, as you can now see as we're showing you on screen what those changes are, but anecdotally the devices such as the Pixel 5, Pixel 4a and the 4a 5G that we've updated and tested do feel a little smoother since updating to this OTA. We would say they'll take that with a grain of salt. It could just be a placebo effect in action, but overall it does seem pretty good so far. Considering of course you do get extra features here too, courtesy of that December Pixel feature drop, this is a big update that, at least on face value, appears to resolve a lot of problems that many Pixel owners out there have complained to us about, and that you have probably faced in silence since the stable Android 12 update arrived. We're not 100% certain if every single problem has been fixed, but at least at this point it's pretty promising. If you have grabbed the update on your device, do let us know if things have changed or improved. We really want to know if this has fixed things, and again, if you are seeing problems, it's definitely worth raising a support ticket to Google on their dedicated forums, as it could come in a future update and help fix some of the niggling little issues with Android 12 that kind of dull the sheen of the entire massive overhaul a little bit. I do know that this has been a little bit of a different video to what we'd usually post, but hopefully you enjoyed this kind of look at what things have been changed and fixed. Do let us know what you think down in the comment sections below, but as always, until next time, this is Damien with 9to5Google saying thanks for watching and happy updating.